Welcome. Pretty interesting day. It wasn't like too crazy aside from Bitcoin, but just a quick recap for the stock market. First like hour and a half of the day was a bit volatile, but then the rest of the day was kind of like a little bit of just like a slow rise up. But you really want to understand the context of what is happening here in the market. I'm going to kind of go over that. Doge is going crazy right now. Let's just go take a look at that before we really get into Bitcoin and the stock market. But Bitcoin, let's go. See what's up with Dogecoin really quickly. It's up 20% in the last couple of hours. I mean, ever since it broke like that resistance at like 6 cents pretty much, it's just been going crazy. Congrats to whoever wasn't on Doge. I was not this time around, even though I was in Doge from like down here to like up here kind of. And then I didn't really touch it all throughout here. And as we see, Doge is going wild. Let's go on the monthly real quick for Dogecoin. This chart doesn't have a lot of data. I don't think this is all-time highs for Doge. I might be mistaken. Let's see if I can find a chart with more data on it. And no, it's not really much. Maybe it is. I don't know. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not really too caught up with the history of Dogecoin. I can't really find a chart with more than a few months of data. Well, no. This one has been tracking Doge since 2015 and pretty much says that it's definitely at all-time highs, at least since 2014, according to that chart. So crazy stuff on Dogecoin. Congratulations to whoever got in on it. For this runner, just in better value areas. But let's get back to the market. We're going to start with the market and then we're going to talk about Bitcoin. Looking at the S&P 500, I personally believe we're due for a pullback in the short term. By the short term, I mean the next couple of days, maybe beginning of next week. I think within the next 5 trading days, we're going to be a little bit lower. Again, I can easily be wrong. I mean, all the market's doing right now is going up, so it's not too easy to pinpoint a reversal spot. But we'll see what happens, Really, if you just look at the context of the S&P 500, you're at the top of the wedge, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4 different times you were at the top of the wedge on the S&P 500. You had a big pullback. We've been talking about this on stream for a while now, and I think as of today, you're now overbought, not only on the 4-hour, but also on the daily RSI. You've been overbought on the 4-hour RSI for a couple of days now. And now, again, you're overbought on the daily. The last 2 times you were overbought on the RSI, you had an 8 to 10% pullback on the S&P 500, which crushed a lot of stocks, right? And then on the 4-hour, you've been oversold for a couple of days now, and you're continuing to show classic bearish divergence that is developing. Even as the price is going up, your classic bearish divergence is developing. If you look at, let's say, the SPY, which is kind of the way to trade the S&P 500, you're going up on decreasing volume, which means, today you had a little bit of increase in volume in the afternoon, but aside from that, it kind of means that people are starting to, take a little bit easy after this crazy move in the last few weeks on the S&P 500. Looking at the actual SPY itself, I don't think you're at the top of the wedge for the SPY, but I do think you're pretty much at the top of the wedge for the SPX, like the actual S&P 500. So we'll see what happens, and then, the title of the stream is like tomorrow's a huge day for the market or whatever. You're at the top of the wedge. That doesn't mean you're going to reverse tomorrow. It just means that any day now can be a potential reversal area because you're in a potential reversal point on the chart historically. And then tomorrow you have the Coinbase IPO, which we'll see how that affects things. We'll see how that opens up and, does tomorrow. A lot of hype around it. And then I think Powell's going to be speaking some sort of a meeting around noon. And there's a couple financial earnings. Chad Free's bank earnings start tomorrow for sure. So there's going to be a lot of different signals from a technical standpoint, from a fundamental standpoint. Tomorrow in the market, I think tomorrow is going to be a little bit more volatile than the last few days have been, which is not too much movement, relatively flat. Well, today the NASDAQ did crush it. We're going to take a look at it in a second. But yeah, just a recap of like all the trades. It was a pretty good day for the swing trades. Finally, we got a nice bounce on a lot of these swing trades. Literally the one day I start putting out day trades, the swing trades start picking up. It's just the timing has been so bad in the last couple of weeks, especially for the member trades. The premium trades have been doing pretty well, but we'll take a look at them in a bit. Just look at the NASDAQ first, and after that, we're going to look at Bitcoin. On the NASDAQ, you were up 1%. Still, I don't think there's much of an edge here. I don't really see any pattern, or you're not at support or resistance, in my opinion. Not much divergence. You are a little bit overbought on the 4-hour. Still, I can see the NASDAQ going either way. The NASDAQ is neutral to me, and the S&P 500 is bearish to me, or potentially bearish if it reverses here, right? But you do have bearish indications on your oscillators. And even in the last few months, these MACD and the RSI have been kind of like predicting or anticipating the moves on the S&P 500 before they even happened. And I can bring up multiple examples of that, but just got an alert. One of the crypto trades is pulling back quite a bit. Sucks. 3% pullback on NU, which I put out a few days ago. At one point today, this trade was up 10%. Now it's only up 4%, so pretty rough pullback on that. I think there's a lot of money just pouring into Bitcoin right now, which we're about to talk about. I even put out a new crypto trade today, which was BNT. It's in profit by a little bit, still relatively around the entry. The falling wedge, classic bullish divergence, which is confirmed on the 4-hour, and hidden bullish divergence is developing on the daily for this new crypto trade. We'll see how it does. We're going to get to Bitcoin in a second, but before I even look at Bitcoin, I want to look at Bitcoin dominance. And this is pretty interesting. I mean, I'd be thinking that Bitcoin dominance would be going up right now, not down. Let me take a look at altcoins for a second here. And they're kind of, yeah, they're doing all right actually. But yeah, Bitcoin dominance is going down, which means maybe there is not crazy money pouring into Bitcoin compared to altcoins for now. But I do think that this has been selling off pretty hard, especially in the last few weeks. Maybe it does go all the way down to 52 to this support, but you might see this turn around soon if Bitcoin continues to create new all-time highs. And then let's take a look at the market cap of crypto in general, over 2 trillion, continuing to rise, just absolutely parabolic. Just money is pouring into the crypto markets right now. And then obviously tomorrow, I'm really interested to see what this looks like tomorrow with the Coinbase IPO. But finally, without further ado, let's get to Bitcoin. You cannot say that in the last 3 or 4 streams I didn't warn you, okay? The last 3 or 4 nights I've come on to this stream and I've said, Bitcoin looks good. Bitcoin's setting up for new all-time highs. Bitcoin technicals look great. And today, finally, you put in a 6% day. I mean, the technicals have been displaying this since last Wednesday, in my opinion. I put out the trade on Bitcoin on Thursday. I think the last 3 trades I put out on Bitcoin also all hit their targets. So this is the 4th trade in a row. We'll see if this one hits the target as well. I remember I put out a buy call on Bitcoin down over here. Target was around up here. Then I put out another one down over here. The target was like up there. And then I didn't really touch Bitcoin over here too much, but then right around over here is when I put out my latest one at 58K on Bitcoin. And now Bitcoin's at 63K, just about a little bit under a week from when I put out that recent trade. If you look at the daily RSI, you broke this trend line. Again, I don't usually use patterns on my RSI, but just testing out to see how it does. And then obviously the ascending triangle clearly broke out of it. Maybe you come all the way back down to 60K to back test it. I don't know if you will. You also have support at 61K, which is like where these candles, where the candle bodies were over here. If I just show you that line right there. So maybe it does come back to back test 60 to 61K. Maybe not. Maybe it just goes to the target. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean, the cup and handle, the classic bullish divergence, and right when I put out this trade, you were breaking over this trend line on the RSI. It was like right here when I put out the trade on April 8th. And yeah, very nice move. I think Bitcoin's up about 9%. Yeah, it's pretty much up 9% since exactly up 9% since I put out that recent alert. But yeah. Taking a look at the chat. What if SPX breaks the wedge? Yeah, that's a great point. It's possible. Even back here, I remember it kind of looked like it was breaking it just for a little bit. If like we really zoom in, you can see this candle right here. And again, even with trend lines, it's really hard to like use them perfectly just because there's so much room for interpretation. Because you could look at it like this, and then maybe you can say, oh, you're not even close yet. Or you can look at it like this, which is how I'm kind of looking at it. I'm really just going from this high on that candle right here to that recent high up here to chart my current wedge. But there's a few different ways, and they're kind of going to give you like a, you know, like a 10 to 20, maybe like a 30-point difference of where the top of the wedge could be, but you're in that general area. So yes, you can easily go another 0.5%, whatever. But I think if you really, I think you'd probably, I'm just gonna look at it in the most extreme way, to really like say you're completely out of it, no questions asked, like you'd probably need a break like 4,200. Because even if you do break it, like you can go a little bit higher and then have like a fake out on the S&P 500. So I still think you're around those areas. Maybe you have a little bit more room, but yeah, I think this is actually a pretty good way to look at it, the way I just charted it. But so yeah, I mean, still a little bit of room. I've never said that the market's going to crash. I'm not saying you're going to dump tomorrow. I'm just saying that this is an area where you could see reversal. Just like when you were down here, I was bullish on the market, but I wasn't like insanely like you have to buy right now. I'm never going to be like that. I'm just going to give you the probabilities. And down here, when I was, you know, posting on Twitter and in the Discord, I thought the market was bullish, you had a very, obviously a 10% move since then, I believe. But yeah, that's really the idea right now with Bitcoin in the market. We're going to go over some of the trades right now. But make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're closing in on the first month of premium trades. So if you want to join in on that for the second month, you can sign up whenever you want. It doesn't really matter which day you sign up on. That's the first link in the description. Yeah, join the Discord. Anybody can join it. Chat of Freeze, just put the link in the chat. What isn't debatable is that we're at the 1618 level of the COVID crash. I haven't even really looked at that, but yeah, we can take a look. Okay. Let's try and do it extremely pinpoint. All right, so let's go from the candle high up here, 38.93. All right, and then we're gonna bring it down to the lowest point, which is right there. Up to 1618. Yep, you are perfectly at that, maybe like a little bit higher, but again, just a little bit of room for interpretation. Pretty much at that golden ratio. Like this, I don't even know if you can see the line, but you can see it right here. That's where the current price is, and this is the 1618, that little blue line. So did not mean to do that. So yeah, you definitely are. Cheddar Freeze and Guy in Hat, we're bringing it up in the Discord in the past couple of days. Futures are flat though, not too much of a signal there. And yeah, we're gonna go over some individual stocks now. We can just look at the trade sheet first. We will talk about SNDL in a second. Not mean to do that. Let's go full screen again. All right. Okay. But super bright. But yeah, you can see pretty much like a 50-50 week right now. I mean, a lot of these trades on the bottom are not from this week, like CCIV, ATRA, Fisker, OPTT, IDEX. Literally, like all of these are not even from this week. They're from prior weeks, and they were just carried over into this week. Some of them were already down quite a bit coming into the week, as you can see here. So, I mean, yeah, a lot of these ones at the bottom are just like ongoing trades from a couple weeks ago that are not doing well. A lot of the newer trades are actually starting off pretty fine, especially some of these premium trades. I closed out a few of them today. Apple, 10% gains in a couple weeks. And I also gave call options to the premium members for this. I didn't even look at how much they went up. And then Baba, Walmart, a couple things, and then another one that's up 12% for the premium members. But even, again, the Bitcoin trade is up, the NU crypto trade is up, PGRE, Zoom, VIR, pretty 50-50 for now. Let's see how it closes out the week. And I'm going to start putting out some more day trades. See how it goes. Some crypto called DOG or DOG just went up. That's pretty funny. Not only Doge is going up, but Dog is going up. I want to take a look at that. I don't know. I just got an alert on my phone from like a Twitter account that I follow. Look at this. This is not Dogecoin. This is Dog. This is Dog Coin. DOG coin. And this is going crazy too. And it says it's $112,000. What? I mean, obviously it depends on the market cap, but I don't know. That notification popped up and I just talked about it. But yeah, I am wearing the FTM shirt. If you want to get any merchandise like this shirt, this hat, this mouse pad, that's the link in the description. Oh, thank you, Cheddar Freeze, for dropping the link. But yeah, let's go over some of the trades, look at the charts. We'll start off with Sundial, then we'll go over to Fisker after that. But yeah, Sundial. So I woke up right at the market open this morning. I was up for like 2 or 3 minutes just checking how things were opening. They looked fine, and I went back to sleep for like an hour and a half. Woke up at like 11 or like maybe like 10:30ish actually. It's like for like an hour, and in that 1 hour I was sleeping that was like the worst hour of the day. and like a few trades got stop hunted, but they came right back above stops. And this is what I always say on the stream and in the Discord. Unless it's like really violently going under the stop loss, you might just want to wait until your 4-hour candle closes. And even if you do have a physical order, you can always re-enter at the same exact price. But yeah, Sundial got stop hunted, ran all the way down there, then ran all the way back up. That's just, again, you know, with all these small caps, these stop hunts are very common. That's why I always use mental stops. But obviously, if you're having issues committing to taking your stop losses, then maybe you would want physical stops. And also, if like you're like busy during the day and you can't have like trading view alerts on and stuff, then also you might want physical stops. But yeah, went all the way down to the stop, and now this trade's only down 1%. Crazy stuff. Fisker also got stop hunted by a few cents, about 10 cents exactly. But it reclaimed it. I also updated it in the Discord as soon as I woke up, saying I'm just going to wait for the 4-hour candle close. And you did close both of your 4-hour candles on Fisker today, over 14.55 somehow. Okay, but it's literally like 30 cents away from revisiting the stop loss like tomorrow. So it's literally like a coin flips chance that you can see that again tomorrow. Really, all I care about at this point on Fisker is holding 14.55 on daily candle closes. That's all I'm looking for. You might go way lower, you might not, but just went from 32 to 14 bucks in about a month with no real bad news, and I just don't think that's justified. And if I have to turn into like a bag holder for this position on Fisker, this is the one stock I'd be completely fine with bag holding. And honestly, the trade's only down like 10%. It's not like it's like completely crushed. It's not like I put out the alert like up here, it was down over here. And just, you know, I even was very clear about Fisker on Twitter on the stream, saying really anywhere between 16 to 14.55 could be a reversal. Didn't think you'd actually break 14.55. You did. It was on pretty low volume, so it might have been a fake out, just like how you got a couple fake outs over here back in that Wyckoff range. Really, you just want to get back above the 200-day moving average, which is pretty much you want to get $1 higher on Fisker before going $1 lower. That's like the simplest way to put it. And that's really how I'm looking at it. Clover put out this today. I think it was down a little bit after hours, but really nice looking 1-hour chart. You flipped your previous resistance into a support and you're showing hidden bullish divergence. You also broke above the VWAP on the 1-hour. You kind of also back tested it as well. So really interested in seeing how Clover does the rest of the week if the market doesn't pull back like crazy. Another one, VIR, this was up 4% today. I alerted this, I think, like yesterday. So yeah, it's up 4% the next day. We'll see how it continues to develop. I'm not trying to get too ahead of myself, especially on all these swing trades. Like, there's so many swing trades starting off nicely, and then there's just no money for continuation in the small caps or the mid caps. So we'll see if it can continue. ATRA bounced about 1% up today. Looks pretty interesting, honestly. You're still showing the divergence on the daily, and on the 4-hour you're showing divergence. I'm actually, again, it depends on what the market does, but it looks fine even though the trade's not in profit right now. CCIV. All right, there's two things I want to talk about that really frustrated me today, but first one was CCIV. I was looking at this earlier today on the 30-minute chart, okay? And you were trying to break that VWAP, and I was going to put out like an options day trade on CCIV because it was not falling under 21.59 and it kept testing that VWAP, and I had a feeling that it could squeeze over the VWAP, and it did. It went up like 4% in like a few minutes. And obviously if you were in options, that would have been much more than a 4% gain. I just didn't put it out. It's just, I mean, there's a lot of things I look at that never see the light of day and I never put them out, but there was a lot today. Not only CCIV, I was going to put out an options trade on. There was another stock that I was going to put out an options trade on, which I'll show you in a second. It was Riot. I did put out an options trade on MARA, and I was like, it depends on how you played it. I mean, unless you panic sold it, either you made profit or you broke even, because that option that I put in the Discord, it closed a little bit higher than when I alerted it during the day. And then like 10 minutes after I put out that option, the Discord went up like 10%. So like it was down for like 15-20 minutes, maybe like half an hour. So unless you panic sold it then, you probably would have broken even or taken profit. Hopefully you did when it was up 10% and testing the VWAP and it couldn't break it. But again, you know, with options, I can't really give you entries and exits. It's really up to how you play them. I'm just giving you my ideas. And then yeah, Riot, I was going to put out a trade on this. I just didn't. I saw that it was back testing. Really, the trade I was going to put out was literally something like this. It was back testing the VWAP. So I was going to put this out, and I just didn't. Literally, my target was this resistance, and it literally got to that. I'm saying literally so much again, but it got to that resistance, which kind of was like your support on a few candles, like right over here and right over here. And it got to that resistance, and it would have been an amazing trade. I wasn't going to put options out. I was just going to put out like common share trade, but the trade looks something like this. I never put it out, and instead I put out MARA, and it started off well, but then it pulled back, and then it kind of was just like break even at close. So frustrating, yeah. Zoom though had a 6% day. A lot of work from home stocks actually bounced nicely today. So this trade's up about 5% in profit right now. It's been out for a couple of weeks. Finally nice to see this in profit after getting stop hunted. PGRE still just having major issues breaking above 1053. We'll see if it can. And then OPTT did get I really did raise up the stop loss just because it was way too extended. This one's giving me tough. It reminds me of VISL already. That's why I raised up the stop loss. It went to the stop, it bounced up 5%, then after hours it was down 5%. It's just not looking good right now. Really, you just want to close over 268 tomorrow, but it's pretty risky at this point. We'll see if it can bounce. Future is still flat, and that really covers everything. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Drop some tickers in the chat. I know tonight there's not many people in here. About half of the viewers from last night, but yeah, if you want me to take a look at something for you, drop it in the chat. I'm not too sure how the crypto stocks will do tomorrow with the Coinbase IPO. Literally no clue. I know a lot of people are expecting that they're going to be sympathy plays tomorrow for Coinbase. We will see tomorrow. I'm just going in with an open mind. That's how I always like to do things. I like to react and not really go super hard in predictions unless just probabilities on the charts. But we'll see. Yeah, Neo reclaimed 38 today. Somebody just dropped in the chat. That was nice to see. Let me turn off my VWAP real quick. Sun Run. You're at a support area. Really $49 to $50 is your support. You could look at it either way. As long as you can hold above 49.20, you're fine. If you don't hold it, your next support's 47.60, around there. No divergence, no pattern. You did have a bullish pin bar candle, or maybe even a bullish hammer candle on the daily today, though. You've actually had 2 consecutive bullish pin bars. So that means that the bulls are fighting to keep it above $50, which is pretty good. We'll see if they can continue to do that. Tan kind of looks interesting. I mean, this is really how I'm looking at it. You could call it a descending triangle, maybe, even though it's not really a flat support. That's really just how I look at it. Your demand line and then your supply line, whichever way you break out, will probably be telling. And I'd say, yeah, your support is $80.86. It was your resistance here, your support here, and support here. You want to hold above $80.86, or you're probably going to go test the 200-day moving average. GNUS, also trying to hold that 200-day moving average. I mean, as long as it continues to make higher lows, it's good. So you just don't want to fall under 144 because it's been in a very nice uptrend with higher lows and higher highs. And you did get kind of a bullish pin bar over the 200-day moving average, so you just want to stay above 161 as well, which is your 200-day. And then, yeah, you can get some hidden bullish divergence eventually on the MACD and on the RSI if you make a higher low than 144. HD, same price target for SNDL. If it can really reclaim $1, yes, but it has to really get above $1 and hold it. And there's no way to know for now. Home Depot went crazy. I mean, what a fake out. It broke the support and just ended up going in, to the moon. I mean, that's insane. At this point though, let's see what Fibonacci level you're at. You pass the 1618, the 2618 is like 346. It's probably going to be a little bit tough to get there, but all this thing's been doing for like a month now is going straight up. I mean, just went from 247 and 320, which is pretty insane for Home Depot. And then I'd say your support's just probably your previous highs at 292. That'll probably be your support. WKEY. Don't really see much here for now. That doesn't mean it can't go up. It's just I have no clue. I'd say you probably want to reclaim 961. You really zoom in. That was kind of where you gapped down over here. It was also where you gapped down over here, and it was your support over here. So you want to probably get above 961 before being like really bullish. And then eventually you can show hidden bullish divergence. NEO. Maybe this trade is still valid. I mean, I put out this trade. It went up literally like 10% and just went back down to the entry. It was super weird. Just a lot of EVs were selling off with the chip shortages and everything. And now you've back tested your breakout of this supply line. Pretty much kind of looks like a dragon pattern. I put this out probably like a week or two ago. And then I just kind of canceled it out, just a break even. But now maybe, yeah, maybe it's time. You got the back test. Maybe it does go now. As long as, again, I've been saying this for every single night for NEO on stream. Above 38 bullish, below 38 bearish. It's just in the past few days you've just been going up, down, right over it, right under it. You're not really getting like a strong confirmation, but you did close above it today. So we'll see what happens tomorrow with that or in the coming days. Tesla, we talked about that last night. What did I say about Tesla? Perfect technicals are playing out on Tesla right now. Let me scroll up a little bit. NEO breaking out of a flag on the 1 hour. I wouldn't really call that a flag, but you definitely did break out of I'd probably just call this like a downsloping channel. I mean, it looks a little bit too extended for me than a flag. Personally, I don't like calling things bull flags if they fall under the 0.382 retrace. So you go from your low to your high. Typically, if something falls under a 382 retrace, I just look at it more of like a downsloping channel rather than a flag. But that's just like a personal term. It's the same psychology for both things. I'm not saying you're like completely wrong. You definitely did break out of that. Yeah, let me scroll up, see what else we got in here. Okay. FTC, B, Sumo. What's up, Frank? Roblox, not enough data on the chart for me to really give you a technical answer. We'll look at the other one. Look at Tesla again. VTVT. I know that was up very nicely today. A few people have been coming in the stream talking about VTVT. Congratulations if you were in on it. It definitely crushed it today. FTCV looks pretty interesting. I'm not gonna lie. Kind of like a cup and handle. I'm not even gonna chart it, but you broke this handle. Okay. Definitely broke out of that, and now you're showing hidden bullish divergence on the 1 hour. So I am on the 1 hour chart. I didn't even realize that. Let me fix this, take it off the 4 hour chart. So you're not showing any, well, you are showing hidden bullish divergence, but you have been showing hidden bullish divergence on the 4 hour ever since like right here. So it's continuing to play out. On the daily, really not much, but this was kind of like a hammer candle today, so we'll see if that plays out. Obviously, not a lot of data on the chart. The 1 hour probably looks the best, honestly. We'll see if that plays out, and then, I don't know, you could target 1530, you could target 1434, maybe even higher if it breaks that. And then support, I'd probably say like 1268. And then Sumo, looks like I've looked at this before. Let's see. Looks like it reversed. It never got down to that 1618 PCZ of the crab. I forgot who came in here and asked about it, and you were talking about like the divergence and stuff. Definitely did play out. So if you were in on it, congratulations. You also did end up bouncing off of 1684, which was your previous all-time low. At this point, now that you are starting to reverse, I don't know, maybe you do double bottom again. Like maybe you get a confirmation low right here. Maybe not. If you just keep going, you have a gap fill and a pretty strong resistance at 25. That was your support here, and again, your gap fill. But good job. OZON, hidden bullish divergence playing out after a double bottom. Aside from that, I don't know. Maybe it's starting to look like a potential, like a bearish bat maybe. Could this be a bear? Yeah, I think this could be a bearish bat. So your PCZ of the bearish bat would be, I think the 882, correct me if I'm wrong. Or the 886, not the 882. So around like 5,020, something like that, which also pretty much lines up with your previous high from right over here. So I think 5,020 would be a resistance. I don't even know if you're going to get there with the bearish divergence on the 4 hour. We'll see if you do, but yeah, that's OZON. Tesla, we talked about this last night. You can't say we didn't, okay? I looked at this chart last night, and I told you, you had an inverse head and shoulders, you back tested it for 4 days, and then you finally started going, right? A break, this was your break, you broke out of the neckline. This was your hook, you back tested the previous resistance and flipped it into a support, and this was your go. Break, hook, and go. And then this was your follow through price action in 9% day. That's beautiful technical analysis playing out like to the dot. Obviously could have had something to do with Bitcoin going to all-time highs. But this was already talked about before Bitcoin was at all-time highs. So it's not like I said that after Bitcoin went to all-time highs. It was already showing this type of a formation. You do have a small gap. You technically actually have two small gaps, like right over here, and then I wouldn't call that a gap really, but you do have a gap to 705. I'll be interested to see if that fills, but also you have a gap at 776. So that could be a target. 776 if it gets there. If it breaks that, you're probably going to go retest that area up top. See what the measured move of the inverse head and shoulders is. That would be about $852 would be the measured move, but of course you can get pullbacks before you even see that if you do. BTVT, not much to say at this point, but for all the people who've been talking about in the stream, I couldn't see too much from a technical standpoint, but obviously I think they had news or something. So congratulations if you were in on it. I'd say at this point now it's already gone. Your support's probably like 309. I'm not sure how you would target here. It's very, very volatile. I'd say your two resistances, you already, 359, you got over it, but you couldn't hold over it. 359, 388 maybe, and then support's 309. And then COP. Nice. The daily looks good. Let's see the 4 hour. The 4 hour looks good. Okay, now we're talking. COP. Let's take a look at this, all right? Wow. But you're at a very big make or break area. If you can bounce here, let me show you what we're working with on COP. Who requested this? Joe Jaffe. I'm sorry, Jaffe. I know I messed that up. I probably did. I'm sorry. I'm not the best with the pronunciations, but let's take a look at this chart, okay? Check out the RSI. Yeah. Classic bullish divergence on the 4 hour MACD and RSI. Okay, on the daily you have hidden bullish divergence developing. On the MACD, I'd say yes on the RSI as well. Okay. I mean, if you use this low, then no. It's a little bit iffy. Whatever, you don't even need it on the RSI for this to go up. Okay, so we don't even have to talk about that, but you can hold $50 on COP. You have nice divergence and you're flipping your previous resistance, or you're attempting to flip your previous resistance from last summer into a support. And not only was this your resistance last summer, it was your support in August of 2019. Let's see if there's anything else here. Wow, this is such a big make or break area. It was your resistance back in 2017 in April. It was your support not once but twice back in 2015. You always want to be going back into time to find these types of levels. Oh my gosh, it was your support on a double bottom in May of 2012. What a crazy level. All right, hold above $50 and this thing can continue running. All right, you have hidden bullish divergence. I know it's already been on a crazy run, but a lot of divergence at a very, very big critical support area with a potential double bottom if you start really pivoting. This, you could look at that as a double bottom if you do, and if you ever break this supply line, you could target 55. Oh, I did that. You could target $55. And then after that, say $57, which was your low here. and your gap down over here, your low over here. So 55 and 57 could be targets if you bounce off 50. All right, pretty good request. I'll keep it on my watch list. We'll see if it can hold tomorrow. But those are the types of things I look for, even if it doesn't play out. Probability-wise, that's what I look for. Let me continue dropping some tickers in here. But yeah, keeping that like button. I don't know if we can get to 30 likes tonight, but if we can, that would be awesome. Just trying to help out however I can. Biver. B-U-Z-I. Sean Nelson, Sumo. What's you? Congrats for sure. OGN, the crypto. IDEX, we'll talk about it, sure. I threw out Sumo a few weeks ago. Same space, I believe, with Sumo. I was seeing a pattern repeat from earlier history. Don't know if that actually means anything. Yeah, I mean, stocks tend to repeat patterns quite a bit. It's just the psychology of how people trade them. CSN. Alright, let's see. Plug. It did break under that stop loss area. Let's try and get like a fresh look at it. Alright. I hate saying this because I don't like how you're under $30. I don't like how you're under $30, but, and I know that trade did not work out, and I hate that it didn't work out, but you're showing quadruple classic bullish divergence on the MACD. 1, 2, 3, 4 islands in a row. Or losing negative momentum while you were making lower lows on price. You went down to the 200-day moving average, not perfectly, but you pretty much got down there, then you bounced off of it with the 3% bounce. And you're showing classic bullish divergence on the RSI. Technically, like triple classic bullish divergence on the RSI. Maybe I did just mess up the entry, maybe I didn't, maybe the stop loss was real, but it still looks like it could reverse at any point. It's just like, I don't know. We'll see what happens there. Just still showing divergence, but you are under $30.22, so you probably want to reclaim that first TMBR. You're near the bottom of this support resistance area, but I don't see much of a pattern or any divergence, so I'm not too sure. As long as you're over 164, technically you're fine. FVRR potential. I wouldn't even really say it's the head and shoulders. This is what I was talking about last night on stream. You know, it's what Mitch Ray talks about all the time. Really want to get very strong confirmation on your head and shoulders patterns, because here you could have considered this left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Even some people might have been shorting it right here when it looked like it was breaking to the downside, but then boom, you just go back up. And now you could probably start trying to look at it like an inverse head and shoulders, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. So that's why on your head and shoulders you really want confirmation, especially in a bull market. They've been having issues playing out. I think if you can hold above 229, it looks fine. That was your resistance right over here. It's been your resistance for a few days. You're trying to break out to a new range. If you really can hold above 229, you're talking about 251 next, in my opinion. Okay, but obviously you're in a pretty tight area. BUZI, you have classic bearish divergence on the daily MACD and on the daily RSI, where you made a higher high on price, but a lower high on your MACD and a lower high on the RSI. Okay. That's pretty real. You also have that bearish divergence on the 4 hours. So the oscillators are saying it's bearish currently. I'm just telling you what the oscillators are saying. So if this thing just continues going crazy, blame the oscillators, not me. I'm just conveying to you the message that they've given me, okay? I don't know anything about the stock, of course. I don't know. Maybe you look at it something like this, like a rising wedge. I think it is like a rising wedge. You have 4 touches on the top, 2 on the bottom. That's the textbook. I mean, not textbook, but that's a valid rising wedge because you have more than 5 touches. You're in a bearish pattern with the bearish oscillators. The technicals are saying it's potentially going to be reversing in the midterm. Maybe you get a bounce in the short term because you already did fall from 32 to 25, and maybe you bounce off the demand line. But the technicals are not too happy with the chart right now. Don't blame me, blame the technicals. Okay, I'm just the person telling you what they're saying. And who knows? Technicals are not certainties, right? They're only probability. OGN, you're trying to hold 231 on this crypto. Hold above 231 and you're fine. That's pretty much it. I mean, it's gone parabolic like most cryptos. don't have divergence, don't really have a pattern in my opinion. So hold 231 and hope you can hold it. IDEX was a premium trade that at one point was up 9% and then came back down to the entry and then stopped out. This is the issue with swing trades right now. It's just they're starting off well, but there's just not enough people buying these smaller stocks to get them up to the casual targets. And then you're just reversing. We did go over run earlier in the stream. But yeah, I mean, I'd say at this point on IDEX, your support is 266. That was pretty much your low from today. It was your low over here, and then a couple of your candle wick lows over there. Can't talk. All right, so that's IDEX, and then SESN. You have some classic bullish divergence developing. I don't know, my voice is so raspy right now. But you do have some 4-hour classic bullish divergence on the MACD. I don't like how you're under 247. That looked to be your support. You broke it, and then you retested 247 almost, and you flipped it into a resistance. So it's kind of like a break hook and go to the downside. And you have, oh, I'm on the 30 minutes, sorry. Let's go back to the daily. If you look at the daily though, yeah, the 30 minute doesn't look so hot, but against the 30-minute chart, I don't even know how I was on that, but if you look at the daily, I mean the 4-hour, I'd say 229 is your area that you want to hold above. It was your candle low here, kind of your wick lows over here, and then your candle high over here. So maybe 229, it's just a little bit choppy. If you break 229, your next support in my opinion is like 208, around there. SRPT. And just to give you like a quick recap of what I said on run, I think I said you need to hold $50, or you want to hold 50. I mean, regardless of any crabs, I don't like when companies gap down from 162 to like under $100. Like, what happened for that to occur? It's not good. You said deep crab starting February 23rd. 2021. What? So you're talking about this. Alright, let me zoom in. You're talking about it after the gap down. Was this February 23rd? Yeah, it's your low from there. It's not a deep crab. This is February 23rd. Okay. You did not make a 0.618 retrace from XTB, you made a 0.886. I mean, if you ignore this scam wick, then yes, it is a deep crab. Like if you, alright, let's ignore this scam wick, alright? Let's say maybe whatever happened on March 5th. Oh, it was March 5th, alright? We can ignore it, fine. March 5th was a very, very volatile day for the S&P. A lot of stocks were really getting destroyed during the morning on March 5th. It was this day when you were at the bottom of the wedge. Okay, we'll ignore March 5th. Then we're talking. This is a deep crab. You're at the PCZ as well, and you bounced at the PCZ with divergence. Okay, so now we're talking. Apologies for that. But yeah, I always talk about March 5th every night on stream because literally like 50% of stocks in the market put what's it called? Put in a bullish hammer candle. So that's really all you're looking at right there. SRPT. Hold that, you're good. I mean, you can just say your stop loss a little bit under that. And in that case, I'd probably just target the B point and then throw your stop loss comfortably under the final point there. Okay? So that's all you got to do. And yeah, I think that's most of the tickers in the chat. Hold that and you're good. I don't know, I feel like we covered everything. Bitcoin continuing to do all-time highs. We'll see what the market does tomorrow. And yeah, hope that helped out. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Just read the chat. Okay, I think I actually know who that is, but appreciate it. And yeah, thanks. Thank you for all the support. Have a great night. Trade safely tomorrow. And peace out.